Hey guys, it's the Undercard. I'm gonna be giving you all my picks and previews for this weekend's MMA fights. We got PFL on Thursday, we got Ultimate Fighter finale on Friday, and then we've got the big show, UFC 226 on Saturday. Huge stacked card, the biggest card of the year. I'm pretty positive, unless Conor McGregor and Khabib somehow work out their issues this year. That looks like it's gonna be the biggest card of the year. So. Let's get started breaking this down. We've got, so Thursday PFL, the only fight to really watch on there is going to be the headlining Jake Shields fight. That's going to be one to watch out for. And I don't really know many of the other people that are going to be on that card. But I actually like the PFL tournament structure. It's pretty cool. So that's going to be something to look out for. Friday, you got the Ultimate Fighter finale. And not a lot of standout names, big people you should know about. But some people from the last season, Ultimate Fighter, some people from this season. So trying to throw in some old names, some people you might know. And then the headliner, Israel Adesanya versus Brad Tavares. Adesanya is like the future. Style bender, that dude, one of the best strikers coming up in 170. That is something to look out for sure. I just saw at the open workouts today on Wednesday, he was doing those Senchai one-handed cartwheel kicks and stuff, and all kinds of spinning back kicks, and dude just really so creative and really crazy. Really long reach for that division. He's really tall. He's the future. He's that next he's that next generation coming up in MMA of striker. And I mean, we don't know how his wrestling, his jiu-jitsu might be, so I think that's going to be what we see. We're gonna see whether or not he has good takedown defense, good wrestling, good scrambles against Brad Tavares, who's a little tank, and he's real short, squat, real basic, comes forward at you, shoots some takedowns. Not like the best wrestler, in the division. I'm glad they're not starting him off with I don't know, someone like a Yoel Romero at 170, someone huge with a great wrestling degree. So we're gonna see gradually how good his wrestling is. And yeah, I think this is going to be awesome. I've got Israel Adesanya by TKO, probably second round. Something like that. I think he's going to hurt him with something and then follow him there. So that's an awesome fight. Then on Saturday, UFC 226, Las Vegas. We've got, let's start from the top, I guess. Daniel Cormier, Stipe Miocic. The super fight. The Stipe Miocic, longest reigning heavyweight champ in history. Real low key. A lot of people wouldn't expect him. He's no Brock Lesnar. He doesn't say anything on the mic. I think the last win, he said something about going fix some cabinets for his wife or something. Like, he's just, what do they say? Salt of the earth dude. He's a fireman, just a normal guy, and also the baddest dude in the world. So, Stipe versus the light heavyweight champion, Daniel Cormier. I say Daniel Cormier beats anyone in the world not named John Jones. Since John Jones is not here, I think Daniel Cormier is going to win. I got Daniel Cormier winning, and this is gonna be a tough one. This is gonna be an uphill battle for Cormier. He's how much shorter? 5 inches shorter, an 8-inch reach disadvantage. It's funny he's got longer legs for being so much shorter. 41-inch leg reach, which kind of makes sense. Daniel does throw some head kicks, which is kind of surprising, being so short and squat sound, So I don't know. I think Stipe is going to be tough to beat. He's got really good wrestling, good takedown defense, good boxing, really good just standard boxing. He's got short range boxing too, which is going to be tough for Cormier to get past. Cormier is way better at slipping past tall people as they reach out. Gustafsson, John Jones, trying to get into that reach. And, I don't see Stipe is going to be over committing himself, or really he's going to be keeping his boxing in tight. I think Daniel's going to have to outwork him, hang on his head like he does, pulling down on his neck. getting in that clinch, throwing those uppercuts like Cormier does. And then we'll see. Cormier has tossed heavyweights like Josh Barnett, who's got, I'd say, a better wrestling pedigree than Stipe does. Josh Barnett's a big guy. I mean, that was older school style. That was Strike Force. So we'll see. I think Stipe's way better. But this is gonna be a tough one. This is gonna be tough. This is gonna be an awesome fight. It's either gonna be first or second round knockout, or it'll be just a grind to the end. But I've got Cormier picking that one. Also, he's from Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana. Gotta pick DC. Okay, so I had to do a little update to my video. Breaking news just came out. Max Holloway is out of his fight against Brian Ortega. Apparently, Max Holloway suffered some kind of concussion symptoms. They said he crashed out and it was hard to wake up and had, I guess, weird memory or something. I'm not really sure. They said he was not all there and talking like he was in a concussion. So I really hope he's okay. But man, that's one of my favorite fights from this card. I was really looking forward to this one. Max Holloway, Brian Ortega, two of the best in that division. Max Holloway's a killer, and we'll see him back soon. I'm sure we'll see them both fighting again. I don't know if they're going to get a replacement. I doubt it. I don't know why Brian Ortega would take another fight, with short notice, but that fight's out, so just want to let y'all know. Derrick Lewis versus Francis Ngannou. This is going to be good. This is going to be a good fight. It's going to be a knockout, first round knockout. If not, Derrick Lewis, I think, said he should be cut from the UFC if he lets this go 3 rounds. I don't know. Francis Ngannou, you guys remember Ngannou, right? Knocked Overeem's head into space, that guy. Yeah. Versus Derrick Lewis, who also has insane knockout power, too. Derrick Lewis, that crazy ground and pound. One of the cool things about Derrick Lewis is he's not a great wrestler. He's not just going to shoot for takedowns. He's not going to go for trips or anything. But what he is good at is reversing what other people do to him. If someone hangs on him and is trying to go for a trip, he's really good at flipping them around and landing in top mount and just laying crazy ground and pound on him. So I think this could go either way. This could just first round knockout. Francis Ngannou coming out to prove that whatever happened against Stipe was a fluke. And I think this is a good opponent to put him with, not someone who's just going to take down wrestling. We don't want to see him versus Verdum right now, where Verdum's just going to take him down or lay on the ground and kind of expose Ngannou's grappling game. But this is going to be bombs away. I mean, fireworks, 4th of July. This is it. This is just bombs for the whole first round. If it goes past that, I think I'm going to give it to Derrick Lewis. Neither of them have great cardio, but Derrick Lewis has proven that he can still have crazy ground and pound and power out of nowhere in that second and third round. So I'm going to give this one to Derrick Lewis. Hometown, he's from Houston. Got to represent. I'm going to pick Derrick Lewis. And I'm going to say by probably ground and pound. Some kind of TKO, I think. But we'll see. We'll see. That's going to be an awesome fight. Man. Next up, Michael Chiesa, Anthony Pettis. We're going to see who goes where from here. Michael Chiesa just lost to Kevin Lee. Nothing to hang your head at, but, and then Anthony Pettis kind of been on a up-down win-loss streak, kind of seeing where he's at right now. Anthony Pettis ranked number 12, Chiesa ranked number 9. I kind of think loser not goes home, but has to reevaluate something. Anthony Pettis, if he loses, I kind of think it's your time, man. You've been around forever. You got that crazy highlight reel kick off the fence with Benson Henderson. I don't know, man. I think if he can land a bunch of good body kicks against Michael Chiesa, it's going to be good. It's going to be he could win this, but I think Chiesa is just going to be a little too much for him on the ground. His grappling is really good. His submission skill. Pettis has got really good grappling too. His jiu-jitsu is really, really good. So we'll see. But I think Chiesa is just gonna take this one. I got Michael Chiesa, probably decision. Yeah. So next up, we got Gokhan Saki and Khalil Roundtree. I'm really looking forward to this. Gokhan Saki, one of the best kickboxers coming into UFC. He's only 1-1. You know, he's just starting out his MMA career. His first one was a loss back in, I think, 2007, something like that, a long time ago. He's no ground game, no grappling at all, but he's one of the best kickboxers in MMA, period, in the UFC, period. Alistair Overeem. He fought Alistair Overeem, one of the best kickboxers, who's a heavyweight, back in, I don't know, 2010, 2009, something like that, kickboxing. And Gokhan Saki was doing well and only had one arm. One of his arms was broken. And when Overeem decided to finally kick that arm, it was over. But Gokhan Saki, crazy good striker. His only win so far, that last win against Henrique da Silva, I think, and it was by knockout against the cage, which we saw in that fight. Gokhan Saki's levels above everyone else as far as striking goes. Problem is he has no gas tank, and so he was laying against that fence basically, ready to throw. So let's see if he got any better cardio and if he's been working on his grappling game at all. And, I mean, we're not going to have to see too much of his grappling. We're against Khalil Roundtree. Not the greatest grappler. Khalil Roundtree, similar, where he throws bombs the whole time. But he's not as refined of a striker as Gokhan Saki is. So I got Saki by KO first round. Next up, Uriah Hall versus Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa is New Brazil. I want to call him hashtag New Brazil. Paulo Costa. What's his nickname? The Eraser? No, thank you. Not a good nickname. He's 11-0, winning them all by knockout, and the dude is shredded. He shouldn't be in this division. He should move up for sure. He is huge. He's bigger than most of the guys that he's fought. Not to mention that last, was it Johnny Hendricks fight? Ooh. Giant 185er. I'm assuming he'll be moving up to light heavyweight eventually, but for now, man, he is a reign of terror. I got Paulo Costa by knockout in this one. Uriah Hall, he's definitely one to look out for with his crazy strikes, his kicks, spinning back kicks and stuff. He's got a lot of really dangerous weapons, but Uriah Hall just hasn't shown me much lately. He's been getting knocked out. He's been he has a hard time, I guess, figuring out his opponents. I don't know what it is, where he's just not letting go, letting his kicks go, letting his hands go. I don't know what it is, but Paulo Costa, we'll see where his limits are. He hasn't really shown any ground game at all, any jiu-jitsu, wrestling. You'd expect from being from Brazil he'd have a little bit of a ground game, but who knows? All we've seen are crazy knockouts. So I got Paulo Costa. That's going to be one to look out for sure. Next up, you got Mike Perry versus Paul Felder. And Paul Felder, normally a 155er. He'll be moving up to 170 to fight Mike Perry. Which he's been cutting a lot of weight to get to 55. So this is interesting. He says, I think on Luke Thomas's show the other day, that he'll see if this is good for him, if he really likes this not having to cut so much weight. He may stay at 170, depending on how he does against Mike Perry. So we'll see. But this is going to be a brawl, man. Mike Perry, who just stand and trades, and just he has so much power. I think, what does he have, 100% KO rate? Yeah, he knocks out everybody, all of his wins. And his losses are all by guys who are good Muay Thai fighters, who are good guys at fighting in the outside, and letting him kind of throw all of his, and blow out all his steam and all his energy in the beginning, and then they start to pick him apart. And I think Paul Felder is a really, really, really smart striker. Trains at Duke Rufus's, great coach, great striker. He's got those crazy elbows that he does it from the top guard, when he was it Charles Oliveira had him in guard and he dropped those elbows on him. It's crazy. I got Paul Felder. I think this is gonna be tough. Mike Perry throws bombs, and you could also say Paul Felder. He's been commentating. He's been kind of splitting his time. Mike Perry doesn't have another job. Mike Perry on 2 losses right now and needs a win, and he knows it. So he's going to be dangerous. Oh, man. I'm already convincing myself I want to pick Mike Perry. No, I'm going to go with Paul Felder. Paul Felder's really smart. I don't think he's going to play that game and just sit inside the pocket and let Mike Perry just tee off on him. I got Paul Felder. Paul Felder, I think this one's going to end by KO, TKO, something like that. Some kind of stoppage. Next up, Rafael Assunção versus Rob Font. Assunção ranked 3, Rob Font ranked 11. This is big. This could be big for Rob Font if he can get the win. This will put him right up there in title contention. And then Rafael Assunção, we'll see where this lands him. If he wins this, I think he'll get the next shot. I think he gets the next shot after TJ and Cody fight for that title. So this is big for Assunção. If he loses this, he'll drop pretty low. If he wins this, he'll stay up there towards the top. Maybe they'll have him fight Dominic Cruz. Well, he just beat Moraes, right? We'll see. I think Assunção's got this one. He should have this one. You know, he's got a win over the champ right now. Assunção's really, really good, but don't count Rob Font out. You know, he's got a lot of power, so definitely watch out for Rob Font. But I got, Rafael Assunção on that one. Next up, this is a really good fight, too, that's kind of going below everyone's radar. Curtis Millender versus Max Payne Griffin. Max Griffin, I don't know if y'all remember him, he beat Mike Perry not that long ago, last year, maybe this year. And for some reason, Max Griffin's below Mike Perry. I'm assuming he's just not as big of a talker. He's not in the news as much. He's not like Mike Perry running around dropping the M-bomb and stuff. I don't know. This is going to be a really good fight. Max Griffin's really, really smart. Really good game plans. Great boxing, great wrestling, great all-around fighter. Curtis Millender, a lot of people don't know him. I think this is his first fight in the UFC. Maybe his second. Great knockout and submission skills. He doesn't just let it go to decision. He's got a lot of power in his kicks, his hands, and his submissions. His wrestling's really good. I got Curtis Millender because of his ability to finish the fight over Max Griffin's, grind him out style. So I got Curtis on that, but man, that's going to be a good fight too. They're both really great fighters. And this is the first fight on the FS1 prelims. Opening up is a killer fight. Now we're going to go down to the Fight Pass prelims, and I mean, killer fights there too. Dan Hooker, Gilbert Burns. Man, Gilbert Burns is a killer. A little tank, great jiu-jitsu, great wrestling, a lot of power, decent striker, but like a little tank, man. Dan Hooker fights long, fights a lot like Israel Adesanya and their training partners from New Zealand. Really creative striking, long striking. I think one of his last win against was that Ross Pearson with a knee that just came from really far away. Shouldn't be able to get that knee that far. But Dan Hooker just finds ways to win. 16-7, not the greatest record, but man, I don't want to root against Gilbert Burns, but I think I'm gonna pick Dan Hooker. I'm gonna go with Dan Hooker on this one. That's tough, but he's young, upcoming. He's training partners with Israel Adesanya, a really good striker, really dynamic. Just find ways to win, and I think maybe he'll figure out a way, just like with that knee against Ross Pearson. When Gilbert tries to come in and go for those takedowns later, when he's getting frustrated at the striking, at the distance that Dan Hooker can keep, I think he's going to land one of those knees with Gilbert Burns coming in. So Dan Hooker on that one. And then one of my favorite fighters, Lando Vannata, Groovy Lando versus Drakkar Klose. It's going to be a tough fight for Lando, and I didn't want him to have another tough fight after, fighting Tony Ferguson, a bunch of the other really good guys. But Lando Vannata, if you don't remember him, he's got a lot of those crazy. Just look up his highlight reel. He's got crazy spinning kicks. Super exciting fighter. Just crazy taekwondo kicks left and right. Got great cardio. I think he went all 3 rounds with Tony Ferguson. Really, really tough guy. He lands a lot. I think it was about 6 strikes per minute. He's just constantly throwing. Drakkar Klose is no joke, man. Drakkar Klose, a grinder, really good wrestling, really good, solid basics, striking, wrestling. all around really good upcoming fighter. He's only 8-1. I'm going to pick Lando Vannata, and I think it's going to be by a crazy head kick or something like that. And if he doesn't win, he'll be getting ground out by Drakkar Klose. But yeah, I got Lando Vannata by head kick. I think he's just dangerous striker and really looking to get back in that win column. So Lando Vannata on that one. And that's the second fight of the card. But first fight, Emily Wittmeyer, Jamie Moyle. I don't really know. I kind of wanted to pick Jamie Moyle, but Emily Wittmeyer seems really, really fired up. I've been seeing some of her interviews and stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Emily Wittmeyer. So that's it, guys. UFC 226 this weekend. Huge fights, huge card. I think the biggest card of the year. Not going to want to miss these fights. Top fights are going to be, I think, the Ngannou versus Derrick Lewis fight, that Max Holloway, Brian Ortega fight. And I think my third pick is going to be the Khalil Roundtree Gokhan Saki fight, just because it'll be a bomb. But so many knockouts on this card. I'm already predicting it. There'll be knockouts left and right. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe to my YouTube channel at MMA Undercard. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, my personal at Who's Matt Rouch. Thanks for watching. Bye.